Do you know what people are really obsessed about lately? High-performance SUVs. And you know what this is?
A high-performance SUV?
Mm-hmm. From Mercedes. This is the 2021... Uh-oh. She heard me.
How may I help you?
We don't need any help.
Stay quiet. This is the 2021 Benz GLE 63S AMG. Or is it Mercedes-AMG GLE 63S?
E63S AMG.
No E, GLE. It's the GLE.
Oh yeah, the GLE.
You know what's perfect
it's not
about
the
it?
It's the GLE.
It's the GLE. And you know what's perfect about this car? If you put a U right in front of its name, it becomes perfect.
Not really. You have to like put a Y and stuff. Like,
Well, ugly with an E.
No.
Anyway, I'm not a big fan of how this car looks, to be honest. It is the GLE Coupe, actually.
Have you ever seen like a salmon sitting on the board where it's waiting to be chopped up and eaten?
No.
That's what this car looks like, a salmon.
You know what puts me off with this car? It's just too round. It's too tall, too big, too round. It looks
bubbly.
like a big egg on wheels.
It looks like a swollen sort of.
I mean, I like the small bits all around. I just don't like the whole thing altogether that much. It's not an ugly car, but compared with what else you can get at $152,000 as tested, starting price is $135,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. You can get a lot of cars. You can get a Maserati Levante, like GTS or Trofeo maybe. You can get an Audi RSQ8, which I think is the biggest problem this car has. It's a thorn on its side. You get an BMW X6M, which has nowhere near as much room in the back though. So that's like the downside.
Yeah, you're like a sardine in the back seat. Not good.
Yeah. So this one, I'm not so sure. I mean, I like it a lot. It's fast, okay? We measured 0 to 100 4.2, and that was even without launch control, because launch control didn't want to turn on, so whatever. It's still very fast, though. I'm sure it can do better. It does have a little bit of a bouncy ride. So it has the Airmatic ride control, so it's on air suspension. Do you find it really comfortable?
So I don't find this car comfortable at all. I don't think the seats are comfortable. The ride is nowhere near as comfortable as I think it should be. I don't know, it's just not, like, for this much money, I would expect more. Like, when we had the RSQ8, it was, like...
Yeah, so that's my problem, that my reference point is the RSQ8, and compared to that, it's not as comfortable. It is comfortable, okay? I wouldn't say that it's that bad. I mean, the seats, I like them a lot. They have a really good massage. Love that. Everything is great. The ride comfort, I just think, is a little bit harder, like the RSQ8 and the BMW X6M. So those two companies do air suspension much better than Mercedes. Mercedes brought the air suspension out, and now they're like, they have the worst one. The other ones just went whoosh.
You know what would have made this a little bit better, though?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the little extension here at the front comes out to support your legs a bit better? If you've got long legs like me, it's not.
So you see that button on the door?
It doesn't come out.
It does.
Look, it's done. Look.
Yeah, but it's at
out,
the maximum setting. Yeah.
I know, like, to come out a little further. That would have made it a little bit nicer to sit on.
Okay.
But I find the seats are a little too firm. That maybe if they soften it up a touch, it would be more comfortable.
Maybe they're perfect for my size, because you're a bit bigger than me, so maybe up to my size, they're great. If you're tall like Steve, like 6'2", maybe they don't work for you. But
maybe.
Also, my wife noticed that there's no holy shit handle here, and you know why? Because if there was one there, it would probably be way too close to your head, and you'd end up banging your head there all the time. Which brings us to headroom, which is not that great in this car, is it?
It's not bad. I mean, look.
But compared again to like its competitors, it is the tightest one, and getting in and out is a little bit tight on this car.
So this is almost, I have to wrench my neck to get in. Like every time I get in, I gotta turn my butt over.
Even me.
Face in, come in, turn my body. It's just, yeah.
We don't love the styling of this car. We don't love its comfort, but that's pretty much where all the negatives stop.
That's right.
And then all the good stuff begins.
Yes.
So this has the all-wheel drive, the 4MATIC Plus system, which has a Pro mode that sends a lot of power to the back. And, of course, the power, the heart of this car, is the 4.0-liter twin-turbo, or B-turbo, as Mercedes says. I don't think
B
it's
or bi?
I think it's B.
B? Not bi?
Not
It could
bi.
be bi.
You never know how they get along each other, but, you know.
True.
It makes 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. It has an AMG speed shift twin clutch transmission, 9-speed, and all that means that it can hit 100 kilometers an hour and just 4.2, worst case scenario, because you're also with me, so if I ditched your 250 pounds, I think
probably hit 4 seconds easy.
Yeah, I think it would be better, but not bad. I mean, it is fast, and I do like the race mode. Race mode is really catchy. Like, you put in race mode, it actually lowers the car. You also have trail mode that raises the car, so if you want to go off-road in your AMG, you can. Yeah. I don't know why you would, but whatever.
You could. There's nothing stopping you. Maybe
the wheels are too pretty. You take those wheels off-road, you're going to scratch them and destroy them.
You'll have off-road wheels and tires for that. If you can afford this, you'll have that.
You probably have a Jeep also, so, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, 22-inch wheels. Love the wheels. The brakes are massive, okay? Huge. You also have a carbon ceramic option if you want. You're not on this car, but you know what? 100 to 0, this thing stopped just shy of 40 meters. So if you think that, you know, it's a 2.5 ton big heavy thing, that's a pretty damn good stopping distance. So
it's a hell of a good stopping distance.
The brakes,
expected to go further.
They bite. The one thing I'm not entirely happy with is the steering. So the steering, it's a little bit mushy. It's not the nicest steering wheel. I mean, the steering wheel is nice, however, it's not heated, which pisses me off in this price point. You can get a heated one. It's free. It's a no cost option. But if you do that, you lose this flat bottom AMG wheel and you get a round one, which I think also doesn't have these nice shortcut little buttons for your drive mode, your exhaust, and whatever else you want to configure them to be.
So, I don't think I agree with you on the steering. I like the steering. I think it's pretty decent for what it is. I think it's a heavy car. I think it's pretty clean for... I mean, it's very responsive.
The steering wheel, I don't mind either. The steering, how it works, I think it's a little bit around the center point. When you're turning, like when you're, you know, when you have a good steering angle to it, it's not bad. But like on the highway, apart from the driving assistance stuff that interfere a little bit too much for my liking, I found the steering was a little bit numb.
I think you're just a little bit of a diva.
Maybe.
I think it's just fine.
Anyway, one thing that has impressed me a lot is the actual fuel economy. I mean, it is not fully city, but I'm at 12.5 liters per 100 kilometers. I mean, had I driven more in the city, I think it would probably be at like 13.5, because that's what it was before I hit the long trip. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, for what it is and how it goes and all that stuff. I mean, you probably don't give a damn about fuel economy in these kind of cars, but in case you care, it's not bad. It won't cause any global warming. Okay, so let's put it into at least Sport Plus, because, you know, it is an AMG. Look at this.
Oh,
I love the exhaust. So the exhaust actually does some burbles. It goes around, pop, 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 which most other manufacturers now, they're muting all their exhaust. This one has a button to make it louder. I actually really like how it sounds.
It sounds amazing.
Sounds really good.
I mean, compared to everyone else now, everyone's kind of gone with their exhaust. So Mercedes is probably the only brand you can get it like this now.
Okay, let's give it a launch with a little bit of window.
No, really?
See what we're gonna hear.
Come on,
Ready?
man. Last time you did this, like, okay, stop. Okay, it's good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. I left my stomach back there. Can we go get it?
Yeah, sure. Well, roominess and interior. You said that you're not too comfortable up here, but how about roominess? You have enough room?
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, there's tons of space behind me, and right now I'm pretty far back in the seat, so, I mean...
And there's still a ton of space behind you.
Yeah, but we're filming too, so I think I'd probably come a little closer up.
I love this. This is like a perfect match to my arm. It's like the perfect armrest. Even though it's like skinny, my hand like rests on it perfectly.
This
very comfortable.
My holy shit handle.
There's your holy shit handle right here. And so the interior, quality-wise, it has the carbon fiber trim, which I really like. In contrast to every other Mercedes, when you squeeze here, you don't really hear a lot of creaking and cracking. It's not that bad. The materials used are all very high grade. I really like them. Stitched leathers almost everywhere. The combination of trims is awesome. Fit and finish is fantastic. And you know what the best part is?
What?
At night, the ambient light is pretty cool.
Oh, the disco lights?
Kinda, yeah. Like the private VIP lights.
Pimp lights?
Pimp lights. The screens are really nice. Excellent graphics, fully customizable, pain in the ass to learn how to use all this stuff, but I guess if you own one of these, eventually you'll get to it.
You also forgot something.
What's that?
You can just tell the Mercedes to do it.
Yes. Would you please turn my massaging seat on?
Hey, Mercedes,
How can I help?
turn on the driver's side massage.
I'm switching on the massage on the driver's seat.
Thank you, Mercedes.
Yeah, baby.
See?
Right there.
Don't even need to touch it.
It's awesome. And I'll tell you two really funny features. So this car has what's called interior assist. And what that does is at night, for example, if you want to reach out and grab something, it will put the lights on. It will detect your hand moving, and it will shed some light to where you're reaching out to help you
Shut
find what you're
up.
looking for. Yes. And
That's brilliant.
because this is a car that, older people are going to buy that probably, they don't hear that well.
Yes.
It has a system that
Oh.
gets your voice through the microphone and then plays it back amplified through the speakers.
That messed me up so bad when we got this. I was sitting here trying to, and you just turned it on, didn't you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Anyway, you can just hear this
Sounds
weird echo. And you're like, what the hell is that? I had no idea what it was, but that's what it was. It was that amplification from the front cockpit to the back.
But if I am like heavy on hearing, I don't need to tell you what all the time. I can just tell the car to help me.
What?
Exactly. Do you know the joke with the dumb guy and the deaf guy?
What?
Ah, So the trunk in this car opens, the power tailgate opens quite high. Massive loading bay. It has 655 liters capacity, which is great. Also, the towing capacity is 3.5 tons. So you
So-
can actually tow a lot of stuff in this.
What could you tow with that? Could you tow a boat with this?
You could tow my mini race car on a trailer, no problem. So
Should buy
boat
one.
should be even easier.
You should get one.
Yeah, because I can afford one.
Well,
I can't even afford the trailer.
don't worry, the review will pay for it, right?
Please subscribe. Help us make some money. Time for some nerdy things. This car has the AMG speed sensitive steering. So the faster you go, I believe the ratio changes, so it becomes faster and also becomes heavier. It also has active engine mounts. You know what that means?
Active engine mounts?
So when you're driving in comfort, the engine mounts, they soften up so the vibration from the motor doesn't reach the cabin. But then when you switch it to race mode, they stiffen up so you don't lose any of that response. Like the moment you go on the gas, like everything just goes whoop right to the drivetrain.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Wow, that's really nerdy of you.
And together with the AMG adaptive dampers, in race mode, this thing is very sporty. Okay? I think it will probably grip a little bit better than the RSQ8, not as well as a Trofeo, like a Levante Trofeo or an X6M. However, grab this holy shit handle
Why?
because I'm about to show you some cheese.
Whoa! Why do you do this to me?
And it rotates a little bit, but I don't believe the stability control is ever off. Like even when you think it's off, I felt some torque vectoring and some like front outer wheel brake pinching to stop me from
Yeah, I
going
was kind of doing
completely.
this to keep you
Yeah.
straight.
But it has 285 front tires and
285?
and 325
I read
rears.
that wrong. Holy shit.
That's a lot of tire. Like even for all this power, that's a lot of tire. Can you imagine what they cost when you go to replace them?
That's a lot of
ouch.
money.
What else do you want to learn about this thing? It's well built. It's expensive. It's good on gas.
I like this palm rest.
Palm rest is awesome.
That's actually kind of cool.
It does not have wireless Apple CarPlay, which I do not like.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's wired. Has lots of USB-C ports everywhere. All the amenities in the back seat. Back seats are heated and everything. All good. Their own climate control. I mean, you do see where your money goes. The heads-up display is phenomenal. Love it, and you can customize what you see. So I would have to say overall score for this car would be
I give it an 8.8.
8. I would say 8.5, only because the competition caught up. Like if you would have driven this car without any of its competitors, you'd be flabbergasted with how good a coupe SUV could be. It's not bad in any way. It's phenomenal. But for the price, unfortunately, you have better
Yeah,
options.
you know what? You got a point. Yeah, the price is kind of the deal breaker there. So sure, I can see where you say that.
Like, I would rather have a GLE, a normal GLE
GLV?
63.
They make a GLV.
No, GLE 63, like not the coupe, just to have the comfort and everything. You know, that like I was really impressed with the ride comfort in the GLE 450. I really thought that car was that SUV was very comfortable. And I'm kind of disappointed that this one isn't as comfortable as well. I mean, I get the performance and red seat belts and everything, but I don't know.
I bet you if they just did a little bit of an update on the seats, I think it would probably meet the criteria. That's where I personally think they need to just tweak it a bit. That's it.
Bottom line, depends what you prefer. Like, if you like how this looks better than everything else, then by all means, this is the car for you. If you like something else more, by all means, that's the car for you. Blindfolded, if I didn't see what I'm driving, which would be very difficult technically, but let's say if I had no idea, I think this would be like my top 3 pick, but not my first pick. So, on that bombshell, I think it's time to end.
Adios.
Subscribe to the channel if you want. If you don't want, no problem. Press like to this video if you want. If you don't want, no problem. Most importantly, though, be well. Till next time.
Why are you so flexible today?
I'm not pushy. I don't like pushing anybody.
Yeah, but sometimes you kind of do things.
I
And
just
go
push
on
you.
and well, yeah, but you know, today you're not annoying. It's interesting.
Just like being annoying with you, not everybody else.
But you need to stop that. You know, I think you have to start thinking
Oh,
about
look, a
other people.
squirrel.